Look, it's fantastic to welcome Amal to Liverpool today and really shed light on the plight of refugees, not only in the UK but throughout Europe. Last year, Amal did this wonderful trip travelling from Syria to the UK, and now she's acquainting herself with her new home, travelling throughout the UK. And today, she lands in Liverpool, and we're really looking forward to welcoming her.
Liverpool is such an important kind of place in terms of the history of migration and emigration. They're stories that we tell in our museums, at the Maritime Museum and the Museum of Liverpool. So it's really, really nice for us to have Amal here as sort of representing that kind of modern story of people forced to migrate, and she represents those children in that situation.
Of course, Liverpool has a long and proud tradition of welcoming people from all over the world to Liverpool with a really loving embrace. So I think Liverpool was a really obvious choice to come to. And of course, a lot of the cultural organisations, so ourselves, the Everyman and Playhouse, but also the Tate behind me, Museum of Liverpool, Unity Theatre, Solar Arts, had all engaged with the refugee community in different ways, making sure they felt welcome, making sure they felt supported. So it seemed like a really excellent project for us all to connect with. And given she is a 3.5 metre high puppet, a piece of visual art, it made sense for all the cultural organisations to come together and welcome Amal to Liverpool. As well as visiting the Royal Albert Docks, where Amal will be engaging with some football, she will be looking at an archaeological dig. There'll be moments of poignancy as well, where she'll be reflecting on the city's history and the city's traditions, and also its links with the transatlantic slave trade, of course. So there'll be a lot of fun, but also a lot of poignancy in the visit.
And then the real finale was that she met the Asylum Link Choir, so that was a real kind of moment for her to be able to see some of the asylum seekers and refugees in Liverpool performing, and she even had a little dance.
So we've been involved with Little Amal in several ways, and it's been really, really exciting. Little Amal represents for our participants at Solar, our staff team and our volunteers, some of their journeys from, particularly for the Syrian community, from actually the place that Little Amal has walked to here, but also her narrative resonates very much with people's experiences. And our involvement has been that we run a family arts project with the Everyman and Playhouse with the Afghan community, and we've been linking with a local school in the area where the Afghan community who recently settled are living. So in terms of the school visit, it's really interesting and important to bring Amal to the school, because it's a school in an area of Liverpool that isn't historically used to being diverse in terms of cultural and religious diversity and diversity from around the world of the children and the families. And so it's something quite new to the school, and also the school does have several children from the Syrian community who are from a refugee background, and also from the Afghan community who are from a refugee background. And it's not necessarily for those children to talk about or identify with being refugees, because that's an unspoken part of their journey, and it's something they navigate every day. And it also allows the other children to understand more and to have an empathy for what it means to leave your country, to look for or have a loss or a not knowing about family. Yeah, I think that's a really important part of the narrative. So we did ask the school if they were able to do some work with the children in the morning around understanding of the refugee journey, the refugee narrative, and then it was just really important that the children were then able to voice with Amal what they wanted to do to help her feel comfortable and help her on her journey. And I'm hoping, and I'm absolutely sure, that that will now better connect the children, give them stronger peer friendship groups, connect the families together, because the families were able to see her at the end of the day, and create a more supportive environment for those children, all of them, a safe place to be.
In Speak at the moment, we've got a lot of the refugee families that are being housed here temporarily. So these schools in this particular area have had a large rise of refugee children, and it's caused a bit of conflict. So this has been like the perfect thing to sort of bring everyone together, highlight some of the issues that the refugee children are facing, but without using them directly as an example. We've been able to bring them all in, and it's just made it so much calmer and so lovely. With what's going on in the world now, our city, we love to help anyway, but it's just important that we're highlighting it and we're educating the young people from as young as we can, so that it avoids any conflict, it avoids any sort of unnecessary dramas for the refugee families who are already up against it. And it's all about raising awareness and just making sure that everybody's understanding and we're all passing the love round, really.
A lot of the children in schools like this will have stories similar to Amal's, and so it's they're able to then see, you know, their own journey in hers, and also just watching the way the kids respond, and may then go out and understand a little bit more about the city that they live in and the people that it's comprised of. It's exciting, and also it's really cool. She's a big girl, so they just love playing games with her.